Good morning. It's day 42. I'm standing here about to watch the sunrise. That's my camp right there. And the sun should be coming up in the next 5 minutes or so. Also making coffee and got to get breakfast started. So it's a few minutes before 7 and I've got 16 miles to do today. So I want to try to be on the road by 8, on the trail by 8. 16 miles, based on my math, let's see, 15 would be 10 and a half hours. So from 8, it's still gonna be 6 p.m. when I arrive. That's with breaks. So I feel like I haven't been taking enough breaks, but that's because I haven't been starting very early.
Yesterday, that one's nicer.
That is 2 drops per liter. And that is a 2 liter per minute flow. It took 30 seconds to fill this thing up. So this water will be ready at 5 after 10. Tent City up there. Really nice little tent site back there. And since I'm not talking about hikers, I'll probably edit this part out, but it was who camped before me and hiked past me this morning already. Was hanging out there, and it was whom I met in Irwin, and then who's new to me, I had not met yet. They all seem cool. The continued greening of the trail environment, starting to make like every corner I turn just very picturesque. You know, I feel like 2 or 3 weeks ago, this would have just been gray on brown, but now it's like gray on green. And that makes a difference. Just the ground cover and the green carpet and some of the valleys with the moss earlier. It's just been really uplifting even. Here comes another breeze gust. I was getting breeze gusts like this pretty strong at times, kind of between 2 and 4 a.m. At one point I got up to go outside and I was able to see the canopy of stars. That was pretty fantastic. And then of course the sunrise. Shelter's way down there. Hey, pop in for a second. I'm so giddy about the green ground cover and the ground cover with the little white flowers that I can't not stop and video it. Also, somebody said something about ramps and showed a picture of this or something that looked like this, so but they didn't explain what they're for and what you do with them, but they were saying that it's starting to become a ramp season and they're gonna have an eye out for it, but I'm not from the countryside, so I don't really know what the deal is with those. Do you eat them? A little mountaintop here, just above that overlook we were at a few minutes ago. It's almost a bald. There was a little patch of a meadow at the very summit. Now we're kind of still on top, but gently starting down. Couldn't resist the flowers and the gnarliness of the little trees even are gnarly up here. It's like a little trail magic setup here. Alright, there's your Hughes Cap Trail Magic. Here we are hiking up towards Ash Gap, Roan High Knob. So 3 miles to Ash Gap, 5 miles to Roan High Knob, 10 miles to Stanbury Shelter. There's some benchmarks along the way. Probably not a lot of dialogue on the next few hours of video just because I'm climbing for the next 5 miles. The wind feels good though. So I'm here at Roan Mountain Shelter, Roan High Knob Shelter perhaps. We're at 6,200 feet, so last week's snow hasn't melted. Actually, the snow might be just from 2 days ago, from reading the comments in the shelter log. But it's pretty chilly up here. I'm taking my lunch break, even though it's like 4 p.m. If I hike my full day, I've still got 2.5 hours. So if I leave here at 4:30 at the latest, it'll still be 7 by the time I get to camp, which is similar to yesterday, except I got a little bit earlier start, and I will have hiked probably 2 miles further at the end of the day. I feel fine. I don't feel overextended. It's just a full day of hiking as opposed to getting into camp a few hours before the evening and having, the end of the afternoon to spend doing things or not doing things. And doing it this way, I'm pretty much hiking right up to dinner time, sunset, and bed all at once. So anyway, I got one more tortilla to eat, and I will head out of here as quick as I can. This is the road, or the trail. It looks like it was a road at one time, down from Roan High Knob to Carver's Gap, but it's this eroded vehicular road with these rocks and boulders that are extremely rough on the feet. Luckily, I'm not carrying an extra 10 pounds of water, but they do beat your feet up pretty well. All right, this was Carver's Gap. Now we get to summit 3 balls in a row in the waning hours of the day. All right, it's 5:30 p.m. leaving Carver's Gap, 3.7 miles to Stan Murray Shelter. That's where the water is. I don't have any water to spare, so I may have to go all the way to Stan Murray Shelter, because the tent site before Stan Murray Shelter has no water. We'll see. If I come to some water in the meantime, I may reconsider, but I got some climbing to do, so. There's your Roan High Knob, Carver Gap. I thought this was pretty awesome, this view. Looks like I've topped the first bald, round ball, and on to jam balls. You can see other hikers going up that mountain in the distance. Maybe they quit bouncing. All right, chain bald. One more bald today. And it's that big one over there. Oh, it doesn't look so big at this angle, but looks like we're just a few minutes before sunset, or at least relative to our high horizon to the west there. But this is our whole little campsite. It's gonna be windy, but at least it's warm, or not cold.